Yeah, I can say. Well, folks, what we do while we're here, while we're talking to Kathleen, we're going to jump into her social media for a bit. If you want to follow her, her links in the live stream of this video. You can check her out. You can follow her. You can support her in her path as a competitive bodybuilder. But Kathleen, this is just a disclaimer I say to everybody. I don't mean it's no offense to you, but guys, no D pics. Stop it. She has a kid. She got a husband. I know she's a lovely lady. You get excited about these ladies, but come on. Have some respect. This is somebody's wife and mother. Come on.
Thank
Don't be that guy. Don't be that guy. Because I've been doing this for a while. Women tell me, so like, George, guys will say, it's funny how guys be like, yeah, you get all these muscles. Yeah, yeah, yeah. And then they say, I really like your muscles, Kathleen. They really excite me. But, it's funny like that.
you. Yeah, I don't need to see any. I see
Yeah.
it enough.
Yeah. Yeah. So we're going to jump in here in social media for a bit. And right here, this is from the Daytona, and this is her performance there. What was that feeling when you're on that stage, when you're presenting yourself?
Oh, I love competing, honestly. I really do. Like, I just love getting up on there and showing, every, after you've done peeled and you got that body fat off and, you just have that skin laying on top of the muscle. Like, it's just so much fun just to get up there and then to really showcase what you've done. And then, just to look back and go, okay, this is, I need to do this, or I should have done that, or, oh, I really like this. But I really, I love that part of it. I'm not I don't get anxiety getting up on there. My first pro show, yes, I will say I did have a little anxiety because I was up against some girls that I really look up to. So the admiration of being around some of those girls, that took me back a little bit. But after that first show, I was realizing that, okay, I'm going to do this and I'm just going to have fun with it because this is the best part. This is the part that the dieting and the cardio is the worst part. This is the best part. This is the fun part, to getting up on stage and just enjoying it.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, because you got getting the sport, you have to really love it because
Yeah,
it's tough. And this is your boy right here.
that's my son. Yes, that's Jackson.
Yeah, yeah, he's this is your only child, right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, the old saying, a boy's best friend is his mother. I know he loves you and supports you. And that's a good thing because sometimes I've met ladies that don't understand what it takes to be a bodybuilder because people don't understand the sport because it's something different.
Hmm.
And there's so much to this. And also the cost because for you
Yeah,
ladies, compared to the men, the guys got to wear banana hammocks and bare board shorts, but you ladies, you have to put in for your hair, your makeup, your posing suits, the cost of traveling, and then throw in your coaches fees, your prep fees, everything's involved with it in the sport.
yeah. It's definitely not a cheap sport, and so you put aside some money, every couple of months, you throw inside. At least for me, that's what I do. I like to pay for things cash, so I just kind of like put money away, put money away, put money away for travel, and I try to do some shows that's a little bit closer that I can just get in the car and go. But Dustin, we did fly because it was 10 hours to be in the car. But I am thinking maybe next year, maybe doing something maybe in Atlanta or South Carolina. I mean, I can still kind of get in the car and go. It's not too far from where I am, but if I do take a plane ride, it's not going to
Yeah.
be too bad. Hmm.
And here you are celebrate your birthday with your family and friends, and that's your husband right there. What's his name?
His name is Jack.
Oh, how long y'all been together?
We've been together since 2001. Actually, we got married in 2003, but we met the day before 9/11.
Oh wow, that's
Yeah,
pretty.
he's
I
super.
mean,
That's the nice thing about it too. I have a very supportive husband. He competed on and off when but nothing very serious, and so he's totally understandable when I've been dieting and I'm a little short tempered, or he's always like, leave your mother alone, or go, okay.
yeah. And here's some pictures from the Max Fit, and that was a pretty cool show. I didn't get to watch it because I think that same weekend was another show. I think it was I forgot what show was on that weekend. And you want to do other shows like Atlanta is that's a lot closer for you. The Linda Murray show.
Yes, I was
Also, yeah.
on that.
And also there's the Tupelo Pro. That's a new one. That's just they just started doing women's physique this year, and also there's a Texas Pro because Sarah Vigors is putting up some big money for that show.
So, and when is that? Do you know when those dates are?
Well,
I mean,
the list don't usually come out till January. So once I get it, I'll send it to you.
okay, you got it. Thanks. I can always look at
Yeah.
what year and go from there. I haven't really put a plan
Hello.
10 months so I can possibly do some improvements and give my organs a rest, give my mind a rest, and and then get back on a plan on where I'm going to go in the next couple of months.
All
Definitely
right.
going to compete again, but
And this is a friend of yours,
that is my girlfriend Kelly. That is the one who actually encouraged me to get back into it back in 2019.
and she still competes.
All her fault.
It's all your fault, Kelly. You
It
can't
is.
mind your business.
Yeah, yeah. And people think that we're sisters, so because her and I look a lot alike. She's like 5'8" and I'm 5'2", so it's um it's so funny because they're like, you two sisters, or you two twins, and we're like, in fact, I'm older than her. No, we're not twins, but she's one of my best friends, and I call her my show bitch, or she calls me show bitch, because we help each other out. Typically, the husbands don't go. I mean, my husband will go, but it's a lot nicer when she or I can go for each other because then we pull each other's suitcase. We just make sure that person is, you know, tan on time, makeup on time, helping them with pictures, the food, videos, what have you. Making you're driving for them, so they're not really thinking about where they need to go and stuff like that. And so yeah, we call each other show bitches.
That's cute.
So,
Because that's that.
my my husband went with me to this last show, and she had to tell him what he had to do, and he wasn't. He didn't
He's like,
realize he had to put my suitcase and carry my food and
yeah, that's something that husbands need to do immediately when you're married. Like, hey, baby, cake, this, that's it. Yes, ma'am. Yes, yes, baby. Yes, yes, yes. That's what we're supposed to do immediately. I've never been married. I had relations, but not relationships. But
uh-huh.
yeah, I mean, it's good that you have that camaraderie, and and someone like that supports you. Like I said again, it's tough because people don't understand this sport is mentally, financially, emotionally, it's physically draining. The time in. And as what do you feel as you are competing? What's your best feature and the feature you feel like you need to work on the most? You know.
I have a strong faith in the Lord. So at times when I feel like I'm going to like fall apart, that's when I really have to dive in and just like really say that I'm disciplined and I get my strength from the Lord. And, you know, I'm not going to die when I'm hungry. People went 40 days without any food. I can survive with a couple of hours when you start getting those hunger pains and you think you're not going to make it to your next meal. And um, so that kind of helps me get through some of those, bewitching hours when you're trying to get through and your stomach just seems to be doing flips. But and then my worst is probably uh, just trying not to overthink and comparing because, at the end of the day, comparison can be a killer. And when you're overthinking, and sometimes, I try not to see who's going to be on that stage with me. So when they put that list out, I don't want to look and see who's going to be on there because it is what it is. And if I get in my own head, that can kind of screw things up. So I just try to stay focused on what I've done. And, days where if I don't want to do cardio, I go, you know what? Somebody else is getting up at 5 o'clock in the morning and doing cardio. Somebody else is staying away from XYZ or, doing that. And, so that kind of stuff helps me to stay a little bit more focused on my game plan. And I'm very competitive with myself. I think from playing very competitive sports that, I want to win. I want to do well. So I mean, of course, everyone wants to be first place, but as long as I'm like top three or top five, I would be okay with. So That's kind of the I think the stress I put on my own self, because I want to, you know, yes, I want to improve and do better than I did the last show, but you know, I feel like I want to now be the top 3, top 5, and of course win. You know.
Yeah. I know with our bodybuilders, it's that Ricky body mentality. If you don't win, you're last. And, you don't want to, the person, you don't want to compare yourself to another person, but you really just have to fight the person yourself. Because really,
Yes.
it's not just that person on stage you got to fight against, it's you. Because
Mm-hmm.
sometimes you're the ones who have to put in the work and the time. You have to concentrate. And you have to say, yeah, the food part is a tough part about, because, most people, they like to eat certain things. Like I know, like after your show, Kathleen, what's that thing that called you? That thing that you craved the most? That thing that made you desire?
Uh, um, you know, a crazy thing that I wanted after this show is crab legs. It sounded weird, but I wanted crab legs and I wanted a beer. So yes, I don't know why. Crab legs and a beer. So that's what we went and did. We
so like
went and
one
found
of
a crab place. It was called Crab Night in Daytona, which it was a fabulous place. And I had 2 beers there and this king crab legs.
it makes me one of my favorite wrestlers, Stone Cold Steve Austin. Give me another beer. Give me two fish sandwich and a hamburger. Yeah, I mean, not the craziest. I hear some weird things. Stereotypical. Everybody might go pizza and hamburgers. I've heard sushi, and I don't like cold fish. I've been poor, but I never eat cold fish, and raw fish either. But yeah, I mean, it's
I guess
about.
because I steak on my meal plan, ground beef on my meal plan, you know. So those kind of things, I was like, yeah, I just haven't had it like a beer or a drink in like probably 20 weeks, and I'm not a big drinker at all. But I just wanted like a cold beer. It was like, God, a cold draft beer or bottle beer just sounded amazing after my show. I don't know why. And that's what it was. I had like 2 beers, and then I was like, you know what? I haven't had crab legs in forever. Let's go get some crab legs.
Was it
They were like, "You
American?
really want crab legs?" I'm like, "Yeah." Now tonight I'm going out for pizza, so I haven't had pizza since my show. So yes, it's been a week. I called my husband. I said, "Let's go get some beer and pizza." So we are doing that tonight.
What kind of beer?
I like Stella,
Oh, Stella. Never heard of
Stella or Modella.
Stella Madonna. Oh, that I'm from around here. It's usually like from around here. It's usually certain. Like I used to work at a store. I used to stock beer. I used to work at a bar, and usually certain types of like the older guys they're like natural lights because it's more watery, smoother. The younger cats they like Bud Light. The girls like something a little fruity, a little something with a little something like what's that one? Zima's back in the day. That was back in the day. But yeah,
Oh,
everybody has
yeah, Data,
yeah.
Zima, yes.
Yeah, we couldn't sell it in our store that much. Everybody likes to buy the rock up beer as King 45 or Old English because it's pretty cheap. But yeah, it's a lot to the sport. And and one thing is about again the cost of it. You have sponsors or everything's on your shoulders.
Don't have any sponsors. My husband says he's my sponsor.
Well, yeah. Too late. He's married to you. Got so he has the rest of your
No,
life. So
no. I wish, because things could be a little bit costly, but no, it is. I just everything's out of pocket for me.
yeah, that's the tough part about this. If sponsorship would really help, because bodybuilding is not as mainstream as any other sport. It's not as popular because everybody's always going to point the fingers about you're on steroids, you're on this, you're on that. But most sports and everything, it's steroids is about everything. But because bodybuilding is the one that is more obvious, it's easy
Right,
to pick on. But like I said again, it's only a small factor to it. It only
right.
used
The
for
drugs can only
help.
do some. You have to put the work in.
Yeah, because I know
They're just
people. They told me, yeah, I have friends told me. I got a friend. He told me like George, if they don't put the work in like I do, you're gonna look like shit. You can take
hmm
all the gear you want to take, but if you don't follow your diet, you don't work on your cardio, you don't rest and recovery, you
you've
don't
got
do.
to lift heavy, and you've got to eat well. And he's
Mhm.
right. I mean, all the drugs in the world, okay, you might get a little bit bigger, but really, I mean, honestly, you've got to be able to lift to train big and eat and eat.
Yeah. So when you're training, what's the thing that you like the most when you're training? The thing you like the least when you're training?
Well, the things I hate to do are walking lunges and step ups, but I know I need to do them more because I got to get rid of that little saggy part underneath my ass cheeks, apparently. And I think I told you in the very beginning, I blew my knee out playing soccer when I was 18 years old. So my knee always kind of gives me a little bit when I do a lot of heavy like leg press or squatting, and it gets kind of irritated. So when I do like a walking lunge or step ups, that's when it really bothers me. So mentally, I want to stay away from them because it just doesn't feel good when I do them. But I'm gonna have to really get back into forcing myself to do those things because what do they say? Like it's the exercise that you hate to do that you need to do the most. So it's that for my legs. And I would say probably another exercise that I like doing, but sometimes it bothers me is a shoulder press, you
Mhm.
know, and but but I love doing shoulders. I love doing
Mhm.
shoulders and back and
Yeah, that's good. I think everybody has to work on their strengths and their weaknesses at the same time.
mm-hmm. Yeah,
And do you ever like doing Bulgarian split squats?
yes,
You got to be a weird one. I think I may have talked to two women. One was actually a Bulgarian who told me she liked doing Bulgarian split squats. So yes,
yeah, that's an exercise that you have to do to get rid of that little
saggy
sag
part.
part of your butt. Yep.
Yeah, I have a lot of saggy part of my butt, and it's all saggy. So, and you mentioned your coach again, and how long y'all been working together?
Ever since I got back into it, so 2019. Her name is Jill Dearman, and she's out of Loggerhead Fitness in Jupiter, and she's amazing.
Yeah. And that's good that you have a good relationship because I know some people that sometimes you got to find that right coach because those coaches will give you the same plan to give somebody else. Everybody's different. Like I said, you're 55. What might work for somebody who's like 25 may not work for you. Then also they might get something for a man that may not work for a woman. It's just you got to find the right balance, especially when you're
Right.
training and working out.
And really good about keeping a girl very feminine. There's a point. I mean, I guess if you wanted to go over that line, but she really tries to keep you so you are staying healthy, you know, and keeping your femininity in that as well, because, once you cross that line, it's very hard to go back. If you want to cross that line, then God bless you. That's what you want to do. And that's how you want to do the sport. That's fine as well. But, if you are trying to still stay healthy and still trying to keep, your femininity and all that, she's very good at keeping that very structured for us girls. She does train men as well, but, I can speak for myself and for Kelly as well, and she really keeps us safe when it comes to certain things. So,
Yeah, that's good that you find
and
that.
she's accessible. Like I could text her right now. I might not get a response back because maybe she's training somebody or working with somebody, but it's not like days go by. It might be, in a couple of hours in the evening when she gets to her phone, but she is accessible. She is, it's not like I can only, you know, talk to her at check ins. You know what I mean? Like she texts me throughout the week and just makes, especially when you are coming off a show, just really making sure that I'm feeling okay and my digestive tract is okay and how am I doing mentally and you know so she's amazing when it comes to that.
Yeah, that's good because that's everybody needs that the interaction with your coach, especially when you
Mhm.
can reach out to them. Because a lot of coaches they do a lot of have a lot of clients, and sometimes you can't get to everybody, or you get to your clients that are the ones that are your top priority, but you can never forget anybody. And also, you also train and coach people. How long have you been doing that?
I've been doing it on and off since 40 no 30 years.
Hmm. And do you do
I was in my
any?
early 20s, and then I got out of it. I've always worked out, but I got kind of out of it. I got my real estate license and worked as a paralegal, and then I was going to, I was working on my education. I was going to go to law school, which I didn't do. I physical therapy, and then I ended up becoming a realtor. I still got my bachelor's, but my education kind of, and then I just started working back as a personal trainer, and I've been doing that for the last 20 years now,
Hmm.
just that.
Yeah,
Still
that's
have my real
good.
estate license and I do friends, but personal training. I have a nice gym set up in my house. And then I also out here where I live in an area called Wellington, weather's amazing all year round. Of course, summers are a little bit brutal, but there's a park out here, and I've been doing an adult fitness class out at the park, and I load up my truck with sleds that you pull and kettlebells and dumbbells, and we run bleachers and we flip things, and I've been out there for like 17 years.
That's good. I mean, I can understand because I live in North Carolina. Sometimes, yeah, the weather can be brutal, and I'm a big dude. And I walk outside, it's hot. Like especially summer, I feel like I start melting. Like I say, he melted. He's a ghetto snowman. It's tough, and you know what? You have to have passion. It's good that you find your passion for the sport, and you work with
Yeah.
people. You do lifestyle. You work with any competitors too.
I don't do any competitors. No. I have some senior